Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1986. Today, we're going to talk about Nightmare. The story of Nightmare takes us back to Konami. We have talked about Konami several times before. They have been responsible for Track and Field, Gradius, and Yie Ar Kung Fu. We last talked about Konami in our video on Rush'n Attack. For Nightmare, Konami turned to their MSX division, managed by Shigeru Fukutake. Fukutake has stated that the idea for the game came from a staffer, who came up with the main character. That staffer then led a team to proceed with development for the game. Music for the game came from Miki Higashino, who had done the music for Gradius and Yie Ar Kung Fu, and Yoshinori Sasaki. Nightmare, known as Maju Densetsu, or Legend of the Magic Castle in Japan, is a scrolling shooter. The player plays as Popalon, a warrior, who must rescue the Princess Aphrodite from the evil priest Hudnos. Popalon must fight his way through a vaguely Greek setting through 8 stages as the game continuously scrolls forward vertically. Popalon is equipped with a bow and arrows. These can be upgraded by or swapped with a different weapon by collecting a weapon crystal. If a weapon is swapped, the new weapon will be at the lowest level. The player can also pick up power crystals, which grant temporary power-ups. The player will shoot enemies to move forward as well as question mark blocks. These blocks will contain magic jewels, typically chess-themed, that can either help or hurt the character. At the end of each level, the Popalon must defeat a boss in order to progress. Konami released Nightmare to MSX computers in Japan on March 29, 1986. It would then be released to British computers later in 1986. That is a brief backstory to Nightmare. With that told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in the game. This is Nightmare. As you can see, copyright 1986 by Konami, and we just kind of get straight into it. Now, this is an interesting game. At one point, it's pretty standard, but at another point, it's not standard. It is a fairly standard shooter, but we do have, you know, a medieval Greek kind of Viking type feel to the game, but ultimately it is still just going to be a shooter. So let's go ahead and go in and we'll see what we can do in the game. I'm not particularly good at shooters, so let's see if I can do anything well here. Let's go ahead and go in. Now we can move in kind of all directions here, and then there is no auto attack, auto fire, so I do have to beat on the space bar as well as I can. Let's go up and get that. Looks like just scores for me. And we're equipped with a bow and arrow to start. But of course that can change. I think those are rooks. I think that's what they're going for, right? Chess themed, after all. Alright, and we'll get the power up, which I think is allowing me to move faster. Yeah, that seems a lot faster to me. The bats are difficult. Bats are difficult. Alright. Hey, a knight gets rid of everything, but a rook just kind of gives me points as far as I can tell. Alright, now I can change the color of the power-ups, but I'm not sure what it does for me. Oh, well, now I go a lot faster. I must be invincible because they're not letting me attack anymore. Yeah, I cannot attack, so I cannot get what's in the question mark blocks. I did not anticipate that. 2, 1, alright. And, alright, get all of that. And... no! I wanted to get the bow and arrow upgrade so I didn't have to kind of reset everything, but that did not work out for me. Alright, points. Points. Oh. No! Alright, boomerang. I was not hoping for the boomerang. I just wanted to power up my my bow and arrow, but we got what we got. All right, now things are getting harder. Things are starting to shoot at me. And the screen is overloaded with enemies. Okay. And I'm not sure if that upgraded anything for me, but we have a secret block there. And just everything paused for me. All right, well, I'm not sure this is a good combination of power-ups. All right, everything's going again. Die. Alright, got them. And now we will kind of go forward, get our points. Alright, now immediately die. Just immediately die. We still, yeah, I'm back on everything. Okay. Got an upgrade there. Now we have double arrows. That does feel nicer. The boomerangs, I understand why people... Oh, I just walked into that one. Alright, I can do better. I can at least make it to, hopefully, the first boss here. I can do better than that. But I probably only got 1 or 2 more runs in me here. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, the mashing of the space bar is not going to do wonders for me here, but I'm going to do what I can. Switch my grip, so to speak, on it a bit. So hopefully that goes a little bit better for me. Okay, get the points. Okay, I know I don't want red. I'm invisible! I can still hit enemies, but they cannot hit me. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, the horsey gets rid of everything. I know it's called a knight, but in a lot of cultures they just call it the horse. Not sure what that did for me. But now I have a thing above my head. Okay. Try to get, I guess, points. I guess we're still going for points here. Alright, just points, 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 points. No! Alright, well I got a spread. And that's actually going to be better. And I think that was a king? I didn't get a good look at it. It was either a king or a queen, but that usually means king. Had like the cross on top and all that, so. Die, everything. Oh, it's a shield. Okay. Alright, well, I can get some points that way. No! I thought my shield would protect me. I was wrong. Okay. Double arrows, double arrows. I'm not sure how much the double arrows are actually helping me right now. Alright, yeah, I think that was a king. Just stops everything so I can kill everything on the screen. And then we move forward, eventually. Okay. Black, that spawn the question mark blocks? It's a little unclear. Alright, nothing spectacular there. No! I don't think that did anything for me. I think that was just points. When there's too much on the screen, it does slow down. Absolutely. Okay. How are you not taken care of yet? Alright, horsey. Come on. Over there. Just kill everything. I'm not sure that the, like, double arrows is doing much for me as opposed to a regular arrow. Okay, well, we got some opposing knights, but I think that's just points. Like, everything else was kind of a power-up. Like, things are going a little bit faster. Why can they go over water and I cannot? Ah! No! There's so much! Move faster! Oh, there was just so much going on! I told you I'm not good at shooters. Okay, what's the knife? The sword. I'm not gonna be able to get it. I couldn't do it! I couldn't do it! Alright, I think I got one more left in me. Let's see what we can do. Let's hope for the best here. I would love to make it to, like, the end of the first stage and actually see a boss. But if the game keeps slowing down on me, and I can't get the power-ups and hold on to them, just not sure what's gonna happen here. Yeah, it's just points. They just want to give me points. And I'm not sure if points does anything for me. I would assume that at some point I would get. So I think, like, I would assume that once I get enough points I get an extra life, but, you know, I don't know. And then I assume this shield only protects me, like, from straight on attacks. If it comes at the side, I think that's what doomed me last time. I think I can only have like 2 or 3 on the screen at once. Alright, now I'm invisible. Which is honestly one of the best power-ups. As far as I can tell. Because they can't hit me, but I can still hit them. Alright, get all the points that are scattered here. See if we can do something with this. Alright, there's the weapon power-up. This is still coming at me. Alright, what is the knife is just a knife! Or the sword is just a sword. Like, maybe it has more power and it'll be good against the boss, but, you know, right now I one-shot everything kind of no matter what, so it is faster, and I think I can have more on the screen at once, so maybe it is an upgrade. It's hard to say. Shit. Alright. I'm confused as to what happened there, but I died, and that's the end of that story, I guess. I like this. I like that one. But I can only have one on the screen at once. And that actually proves to be a problem when there's a lot of enemies. So maybe I don't like that power-up. Let's get double arrows. And now I seem to be able to have more on the screen at once, I think. Okay, that was a king. And now I'm super fast and can't kill anything because they're too high. Some of these combinations aren't good. Alright, get them all. Still can't hit them. And I can't attack. I can't, like, get the blocks. No! Oh, now I'm just playing poorly. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to the end of the first stage, but I think we got a good sense of what happens in the game. But I didn't get all the power-ups or all the things like that. But that is the gameplay, and with the gameplay, it's time to talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, I did have fun playing Knightmare. It is a good shooter. It's kind of a basic shooter. There are power-ups in the game, which I always enjoy, but I would love to be able to have auto-fire. I would love to be able to control what power-ups I get a little bit better. I wish that the the question mark blocks were easier to destroy so I could get things, and that they gave me something more often than points, the way they kind of just handed out those rooks. It was just kind of insane how many blocks I destroyed, and it's just, oh, more points for me. And points is something in this game, especially a home version of the game, that I'm not really too interested in. But the game is enjoyable. It does feel like a good shooter. With that said, most shooters that we have played to this point have come on arcade platforms, so having an MSX version of that doesn't always feel as fun as the arcade versions, but for a home version of a shooter, this is relatively fun. With that said, I am confused by the game. There's a lot that confuses me. Kind of the overall theme of the game is something that is kind of weird. They say knight like a medieval knight, yet they have columns, so it's kind of Greek, but he's got horns like it's a Viking helmet, at least a Victorian Viking helmet. And then there's chess pieces everywhere, which is definitely not from ancient Greece, kind of more Western medieval times, I would say. But ultimately, the setting is just kind of what it is. We're fighting blobs and other knights and bats. That's pretty much as far as I made it. But the game does have some things that are enjoyable. I do like the jingle that's going on in the background. That was nice to have background music. It's been a couple games since we've had background music, so it's nice to have some. There are just things that I would like better. Like I said, an auto fire would be great. Easier and better upgrades. There were definitely times that I showed where I kind of got 2 upgrades at the same time and they just didn't work well together, so I wasted both of them. But ultimately, there is something here to enjoy. I think the graphics are okay. They're good for an MSX computer at the time, but I don't think it's necessarily groundbreaking or anything that would especially hold up today. I think that it does feel older as a result. I don't necessarily think this one's more of a style. I think this one's kind of an older feel to a modern gamer. Sounds good. The gameplay is good. It just kind of feels like a shooter, but not one that necessarily stands out gameplay-wise in terms of the shooters that we have played to this point. In terms of replayability, I would like to be better at the game, but I definitely don't feel the need to work a lot to be able to get that skill under me. And I don't think that for a lot of modern gamers, this is going to be a game they want to sink a lot of time into, unless you are a huge fan of shooters, scrolling shooters, and basically home computer scrolling shooters. Otherwise, this is probably a game that could be avoided. And that's my modern take on the game. When the game was released, the game would be popular. Critics at the time were also positive about the game, with the game's graphics and sound seen as the highlights. The game's difficulty, though, was seen as a hindrance. As time has gone on, the game has retained its positive reputation. The game's graphics and sound are still seen as exceptional for the time, and the game is often cited as one of the best games for MSX computers. Nightmare would see sequels. We will keep an eye on these as we continue. As for Konami, they would continue to make a name for themselves in the Japanese video game industry. We will hear from Konami again. Miki Higashino and Yoshinori Sasaki would also continue to create music for video games. We will hear from both of them again in the future as well. That will do it for the story of Nightmare for now. My name is Baller Scuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when we get the key.